Hi, welcome back to Danny Harris Arts and part 5 of this largemouth bass wood carving project. In this segment, I'm going to be doing the final detail work on the paint job, which is going to include some body detail and scale tipping, that sort of thing. So I wanted to do it all in part 4, but it was just running too long, so I was forced to cut it up into a separate segment, which is what I'm doing today. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions or comments about this process, please leave them for me in the comment section below, and I'll answer them just as quick as I can. If you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell if you'd like to be notified of future video projects, and maybe give me a thumbs up if you like these videos. So let me get the camera around here and get started. All right, so I'm going to start putting in, I'm going to start doing some scale tipping, but I'm going to start with the darker bar and then the dark splotches along the back, and then the little lines along the cheek. And I'm not going to use, it's going to be darker than what's here, but I'm not going to use pure black. I'm going to use black, but I'm going to a little bit of this yellow. That's going to make kind of a pale, super dark green almost. Actually want some yellow ochre in there too. About to run out. And I'm going to be using these tiny micro Q-tips, micro applicators, and they're, I don't know if you can see them. Let me send you that where you see these here. They're just real tiny little nylon Q-tip. I've used these before, and I'm going to be doing dry brushing with these. So I'm going to put some on here, and then I'm going to roll it off. I want it to be real dry because I want, well, that might have been too dry. These aren't quite like brushes. You got to give them a little bit drier. There we go. Or not quite as dry. All right, so there's that side done on the darker spots that I'm going to put on it. And I just need to do it on this side now. And this will get a couple more color glazes over the top of everything. So I'm not done yet. So I'm going to do this side off camera. You kind of seen what I did on that side. And I'm going to follow up and do the same on this side. Okay, so now I'm going to start scale tipping. And I'm going to be using this mica powder here. And this is Majestic Gold. And I've used this several times now, and I really like it. And the first time I used it, I used the silver to do a salmon with. And on that project, I used mineral spirits to make the paint out of, because it's a powder, and then the mineral spirits would make it like a thin slurry like it is here. And then I would paint it on. The only problem with using mineral spirits is that it evaporates and it'll turn back to powder. So I experimented with this on my brown trout. Instead of using the powder with the mineral spirits, I mixed it with the glazing medium. And I put just a little bit of flow medium in here to thin it down a little bit. So it gives me this nice silvery, glittery scale tipping. And I'm just taking a tiny brush. I'll go through here and tip all these scales. See that or not? Right now it's kind of strong. It's pretty brilliant, but I'll do some thin washes over that and then it'll tone it down. So I'm just going to go through here again. Let's see if I can get up here closer. You can see how I'm doing it. It's going to take a little while, so I'll get started here and show you how I'm doing it. And then I'll get back. I'll do it off camera and then get back and show you the results. Okay, so you can kind of see how that's going to look. Like I say, it's going to be kind of bright right now, but I'm going to tone it down once it dries with some more color washes, real thin color glazes. So I'm going to roll on this and I'll get back and show you some progress. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm making a real thin wash out of yellow ochre and olive green. And it's pretty wet, and I'm just doing a real thin paint over all this gold scale tipping. And what that's going to do is it's going to tone the gold down to where it's not so stark, and it's also going to add some more depth to the color. And I'll do this several times till I get to the desired look I want on the scale tips. Here's the little bluegill that I carved to put that's going to have in its mouth. I didn't show that on camera because I just kind of did it off the cuff. It turned out pretty good. The client wanted it to be eating the fish, so here it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add just a little bit of iridescence to the back, and I'm going to be using some turquoise green and a little bit of just plain green, and that's going to go on also in a real thin wash just to give it just a little bit of iridescence. Okay, so I've done the turquoise wash, and it's hard to see on here, but it's you can see it good in person. And now I'm going to take some actual green iridescent and just kind of scale tip some of the scales to give them just a little bit of a shimmer. All right, that's going to be it for part 5 of this largemouth bass wood carving project. All the details are done, scales are tipped, final details have been painted, and I've got the fish in the mouth here, and it's ready to be mounted on its habitat base. And I'm going to be doing a video on making the pieces for the habitat bases here on the next video coming up. And I'm also going to be headed up to Coralville, Iowa here in 2 weeks for the World Taxidermy and Fish Carving Championship, and this guy is going to be one of my pieces entered, and I'm going to be doing a video from there, and so you can see the whole process of that, and I hope you'll tune in and watch that. I'm really excited about going. This is my second one, and if you saw the first trip 2 years ago, I had a largemouth bass that won first place and best in show in the novice division, and I also done a crappie that got second place. So I have to move up a level this year, so I'm moving up to the intermediate, And the one after that is the opens. That's where the big boys play, and I'm not quite ready for that. So, but I will be entering the intermediate, so I hope you'll tune in and catch those videos when they come out. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them for me in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you consider subscribing. So I'll see you guys on the next project.